What's up, guys? So this morning I just woke up feeling absolutely exhausted, but I have so much studying to do today and I really don't feel like doing it. Meanwhile, this guy over here. How? I don't know.
What's up, guys?
What's up? All right, so apparently Mike has already been up today studying for about an hour.
Yep, you know we're not going to be able to study this weekend, right?
That's true. So this weekend we're going to a music festival with some friends, and I definitely don't want to be the guy doing flashcards while waiting for Snake Hips to come on. So tip number one is to use incentives and deadlines to force yourself to study even when you don't feel like studying. So for example, this weekend we're gonna go party, and we can use that as a reward. It'll feel like a much more well-earned reward if we get all our studying done beforehand. And we're setting a clear deadline for when we have to finish studying, which is before we leave.
Or if you're a glass half empty type of person, which is totally fine, then you can look at it as if you're studying because you want to avoid the punishment of guilt. So I would feel totally guilty if I went out this weekend and I have all this homework and all this work to do. So that's why I'm trying to get all this done beforehand.
Have you had any coffee today yet?
No, not yet.
Oh, you wanna go make some?
Sure, let's go.
All right, so today I'm brewing some of this Unity coffee. I think it's called Guju. It's actually from my friend's coffee shop. He gave it to me as a little gift here. It's an Ethiopian coffee. It's pretty acidic, but it smells super good. Dude, look at that. Fresh coffee. All right, and since we don't have any coffee filters, we're just gonna use these little tea bags here. Make some little coffee bombs.
Ooh.
Improv.
Dude, that smells so good.
Heard it?
Yeah.
Lighting this bomb on fire here. So I don't always need caffeine to get my morning started.
I kind of do.
Well, for me, it's more just the act of making coffee and having a cup in my hand and then sitting down at my laptop with it. It's going through the motions that kind of gets me started working. It's like kind of a ritual. It's part of my morning routine.
Yeah, so that's kind of true for me too. Having a morning routine kind of helps me do things I don't want to do because it helps me build up momentum. Nowadays, when I wake up in the morning, I try my best to make my bed, but I didn't always used to do this. Just ask mom, she knows. So making my bed is never something I want to do. Like, I get zero joy out of it, but it's easy and it's quick. It takes like 2 seconds. And when I'm done, I feel like, okay, mission accomplished. I got one little thing done today. So
Yeah, it's a small thing, but it's something.
yeah, and that's how momentum really starts. It's like a snowball effect. You start small and then just builds and builds on itself. And then so after that, I go and I brush my teeth, check another thing off the list. And then after that, I go and do pull-ups. So at this point, I'm starting to build up a running streak. And in my head, I don't want to break the streak. So I'm going to continue finishing every little task that I start. Okay, now here's a big one. If I decide to eat breakfast, then I have a choice. I can either eat something healthy, like eggs or oatmeal, or I can choose to eat something less healthy, like Cinnamon Toast Crunch cereal. So in my head, I'm on a streak right now and I don't want to break it, so I'm gonna choose to eat oatmeal. That's another win, another check off the list, staying healthy. And so when it comes to sitting down and getting some studying done, it's gonna be less daunting to me because it's just the next task that I need to get done.
So tip number 2 when it comes to getting things done when you don't want to is to build momentum. Start with the little things first and get yourself into the mindset of becoming a finisher, so that when it's time to study, it's not such a big deal because all you're doing is doing the next task.
Oh yeah, can I actually add something to that?
Sure.
So if you don't have a morning routine, then that's fine. You can actually apply this concept straight to your studies. So for example, if you have to read 3 chapters for your tests, that may seem like a big task. So just break it down into smaller chunks and that way it's more manageable.
Okay, so just like read chapter 1.
I mean, even smaller than that.
Oh, okay, like section 1 of chapter 1.
Yeah, like, so sometimes I go even smaller than that. I'll read like literally the first paragraph of chapter 1, section 1. And by the end of that first paragraph, I'll stop and reassess to see how I feel and to see if I want to keep going. And most of the time I will want to keep going because I've already started, I'm already here, I've already sat down and opened my book, and the momentum has already started. So that's just an easy way to start tackling a big task, is to break it down in smaller chunks. All right, so if you remember earlier today, when Matty first woke up, he was feeling really tired and he didn't want to study at all. And all he wanted to do was shoot videos all day. But now, look where we're at. He's studying, grinding away, and we've had a couple sessions under our belt already. So tip number 3 is, if you're trying to do something that you don't want to do, then try combining it with something that you do want to do. So for our case, Matty didn't want to study, but he did want to make videos. So what we did was we combined the two, basically making videos of us studying. So you're trying to take something that makes you feel good and transfer it to something else. And this is even more helpful because when you're feeling good while you're studying, it really helps you memorize and retain things better. But we'll try to go on to see if we can get more studying done and think of more tips that will help us get through the day. So let's go. Okay, so another tip number 4, is to change your scenery. One thing that really worked for me was to kind of map out different locations throughout the day so that I can study one subject at each location. So for example, in medical school, I would start off the day studying one subject at home, and then I would move to the coffee shop and study a different subject, and then I would finish off the day with another subject at the library. So now we're in the backyard. Matty and I are just getting some stretching in, and then we're gonna go for a little jog.
So we're about partway through our run at this point, just taking a quick breather. And a good way to refresh your mind if you're feeling unmotivated to study is to do some exercise. So recently I read a pretty interesting paper about brain health. Basically, doctors are proposing individualized workouts to maximize your brain function that can even treat mood disorders and depression. So yeah, movement is really good for you. It can power up your brain and get your mind right for studying. Plus, in another paper that I read, people who get outdoors time are generally a lot happier than people who have to stay inside all the time. So for tip number 5, we're recommending to exercise. And if you can do it outside. So we're killing 2 birds with 1 stone here by running outside.
Midday slump. How's studying going? Yo, is that Netflix? What is that?
Oh, hey. Yeah, I got kind of bored of studying, and I couldn't focus on what I was learning.
You're watching Netflix?
So I decided to watch a documentary about what I was learning to see if I can get myself a little more interested.
Gotcha.
Right.
Oh, that's a pretty good idea, I guess.
Yeah, I find it easier to study if you're first interested in what you're learning about. Mm-hmm. And a good way to do that, if you're not like a naturally curious person, is to watch documentaries or YouTube videos about it. Because documentaries are, designed so that you ask questions and you think about the topic more.
Oh, that seems like a pretty good idea. I want to watch too.
Yeah.
You wanna just like put it on the big screen or something?
Sure. I mean, it's like what we're learning about.
Yeah. So tip number 6 is to generate curiosity for the subjects that you're studying. The expression goes, if you love what you do, then you don't work a day in your life. So that's the kind of mindset that you want to get yourself in. Find ways to pique interest in the topics that you're studying, whether it's watching a documentary or watching YouTube videos, or just having discussions about the topic with your friends or on forums.
All right, guys, I hope one of those tips interested you enough for you to try it. They sound like simple tips, but you won't see results unless you actually take action. And we realized that it's way more difficult than it sounds because you don't have physical, actionable steps, but it really comes down to a shift in your mindset.
For more productivity and study tips, be sure to check out the links in the description, or you can go directly to mikeandmatty.com. We have a whole section of free study guides. Be sure to check it out. If any of them are relevant to you, you can download them for free.
I hope you enjoyed that video. Give it a thumbs up because it really helps us out. And if you want to see more, click on the red subscribe button down here or the circle up here.
Check out our website or check out our Instagram, links in the description below. And check out these videos over here. We think you might enjoy them.
And we'll see you next time.